criminals and immigrants being criminals. And I just want people to understand what the facts are and the stats are, is that undocumented immigrants are much less likely to have committed crimes than American citizens. American citizens commit more crimes.
Sunny Hostin, American lawyer, best-selling author, and outspoken co-host of The View, has once again landed in hot water. The show, known for its fiery debates on trending topics, is no stranger to controversy, but this time, the backlash is on a whole new level. We're talking legal threats, a looming lawsuit, and even possibilities of the show getting canceled. And if that isn't bad enough, Sunny's own parents have now broken their silence, adding even more fuel to the fire. So what exactly did Sunny and her fellow hosts say that set off this storm? And who is powerful enough to go after them this hard? Stick with us as we unravel the shocking details of this unfolding drama.
Sunny, you have a legal note.
I do have a legal note. Thank you, Whoopi. Matt Gaetz has long denied all allegations, calling the claims, quote, invented.
The backstory: Carrie's inauguration performance. Sunny Hostin's parents have finally broken their silence, and their reaction says it all. While they've always supported their daughter, even they seem taken aback by the storm she's caught in this time. Alongside Joy Behar, Sunny has found herself at the center of a firestorm after a controversial take on The View. But unlike past debates, this one comes with serious consequences. An eye-watering $800 million lawsuit may have been slapped against the show. And the person behind it? None other than country music icon Carrie Underwood. The backstory behind this shocking lawsuit will leave you speechless. It all started when Carrie Underwood made a huge decision. She agreed to perform at Donald Trump's inauguration. Now, whether you love him or not, this move sent shockwaves through her fan base and beyond. Some praised her for taking a stand and embracing unity in a divided time. Others? They saw it as a betrayal, accusing her of aligning with Trump's controversial politics. But Carrie didn't back down. She spoke out, saying her love for the country came first and that she was deeply honored to be invited. In her words, she felt humbled to take the stage at a moment when the nation needed to come together. Little did she know, that decision would set the stage for a storm no one saw coming. Thing is, not everyone bought the whole unity idea. Social media went into complete meltdown, with outraged fans calling for boycotts, and some even joking that Carrie should have performed "Before He Cheats" instead. The backlash was swift, brutal, and impossible to ignore, as hashtags like #BoycottCarrie and #MAGACarrie dominated Twitter. Clearly, Carrie's message of unity wasn't enough for the so-called tolerant left, who were furious that she had been outed as a MAGA supporter.
I want everything to feel, very special and very thoughtful in how we execute everything.
Over on X, the jokes kept rolling in, but so did the outrage, with countless users demanding she be canceled for good. Country singer John Rich didn't hold back either. He called out the industry, pointing out that plenty of top-tier country artists secretly backed Trump, but lacked the guts to say so. Maybe, he suggested, Carrie's bold move would finally push them to step up. And then came his mic drop moment. Ain't nothing outlaw about keeping your mouth shut to appease the record label. Carrie Underwood is making you look like a bunch of boys. No doubt about it. Carrie's decision to perform at Trump's inauguration had turned social media into a battleground. The hashtags were flying. The debates were raging. But that was just the beginning. The real explosion happened when The View decided to weigh in. What followed wasn't just commentary, it was dynamite, and the fallout? Absolutely massive. The View isn't just another daytime talk show, it's a cultural force. Created by legendary journalist Barbara Walters, the show has been stirring the pot since August 11, 1997, and after 28 seasons on ABC, it's still as hot as ever. At its core, The View is all about debate. A multi-generational panel of strong-willed women takes on the day's hottest topics, from politics to entertainment and everything in between. No subject is too big, too small, or too controversial. And when they're not diving into heated discussions, they're sitting down with some of the most influential figures in the world: celebrities, politicians, and industry leaders. The moment Carrie Underwood's inauguration performance hit the headlines, of course, The View was going to sink its teeth into it. And when Joy Behar and Sunny Hostin took the floor, they didn't just share their opinions, they went in hard. Joy didn't mince words, openly questioning Carrie's patriotism. "How do you love your country and support somebody who wants to destroy it?" she asked, leaving no room for doubt about where she stood. Sunny took it even further, declaring that even if she were a singer, she would never have accepted an invitation to perform at such an event. But they weren't just criticizing Carrie, they were tearing her apart. Joy doubled down, arguing that this wasn't about unity at all, but rather an attempt to normalize Trump's political agenda. And just when you thought things couldn't get any more explosive, Sunny dropped the real bombshell. She flat out called the President of the United States, Donald Trump, a convicted felon. It was the kind of segment that instantly set social media on fire. But this time, the backlash wasn't just online outrage. It was something much bigger. The fallout from those words would prove to be catastrophic. Critics were shocked, and fans of the country singer were left furious. Shockingly, however, Carrie Underwood seemed to have stayed silent on the matter, letting the hosts have a field day on her account. But if we all know one thing for sure, it would be the fact that things are not always how they seem on the surface. Carrie's next action was not only a shock to the hosts of The View, but to the internet as well. While Joy Behar and Sunny Hostin were busy stirring the pot against her, Carrie Underwood was working behind the scenes. The $800 million lawsuit. Carrie Underwood did not just take the criticism lying down, as many celebrities would have done. Instead, she clapped back. Hard. Her clapback came in the form of a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against the show and its hosts.
Call people illegals is, in and of itself, I think, xenophobic and racist.
It is alleged that Carrie filed a $800 million defamation lawsuit against The View and its hosts, accusing them of spreading lies that were aimed at damaging her reputation. However, it seems Carrie is not just out to defend herself. She is also using the opportunity to send a message to media giants, letting them know that they can't just say whatever they want without consequences. Honestly, it is a bold move, and her fans are definitely solidly backing her up. The lawsuit claims that the host's comments were not only false, but also malicious, designed to stir up controversy and boost ratings at Carrie's expense. And now, the tables have undoubtedly turned. Reports say The View hosts are scrambling, begging Carrie to settle privately. But Carrie, she's standing her ground. Carrie's legal team argues that the comments made on The View weren't just criticism. They were defamatory. They claim that Joy and Sunny's statements painted Carrie as unpatriotic and implied she was endorsing Trump's policies, which they say is false and damaging to her reputation. Insiders say that the executives at ABC, the parent media company for the show, are panicking behind the scenes, worried about the potential fallout. And let's not forget, Carrie isn't just any celebrity. She's a multi-platinum artist with a massive fan base and a reputation for being one of the most gracious and professional figures in the entertainment industry. From all indications, this lawsuit is not just about money, it's about protecting her legacy. Carrie's bold lawsuit raises some serious questions on the culture of talk shows. Should talk shows like The View be held accountable for their words? Where do we draw the line between criticism and defamation? For The View, the stakes couldn't be any higher if Carrie Underwood's lawsuit goes forward. It could set a precedent that changes how media platforms handle public figures. Fans are flooding social media with memes, hashtags, and calls for Joy Behar and Sunny Hostin to be fired. One viral tweet summed it up perfectly. Carrie Underwood isn't just defending herself. She's taking down a toxic media culture. Absolute queen. Even longtime viewers of the controversial show are questioning whether the show has indeed gone too far. Some fans are calling for a boycott of the show, while others are praising Carrie Underwood for standing up to what they see as bullying by the media. Other fans are demanding their removal from The View, arguing that their comments about Carrie were more about personal attacks than actual critique. Even more shockingly, rumors swirl that the executives are pressuring Joy Behar and Sunny Hostin to issue public apologies to Carrie Underwood, in hopes of calming the storm. And it's not just fans. Other celebrities are weighing in too. Country singer John Rich once again defended Carrie, saying, "Carrie Underwood is a class act. She's everything the tolerant left claims to be but isn't." Former host of The View, Elizabeth Hasselbeck, pushed even back on current co-host Joy Behar, labeling country music star Carrie Underwood un-American for agreeing to perform at President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration ceremony. Listing off Underwood's history of being pro-American,
Carrie Underwood.
We all just love Carrie Underwood. She's a singer, a songwriter, she's an actress, she's a wife and a mom.
Hasselbeck lambasted Behar's claims about the singer, calling her statements ridiculous. The former co-host claimed that Behar's motivation for these comments was nothing more than a selfish publicity gain by attaching her name to Underwood. She went on to add that it's foolish to call someone un-American for exercising their American rights. She wants to attach her name to Carrie Underwood's name so that she maintains relevance because they know the ship is sinking, said Hasselbeck, explaining how Behar's dysmorphic lie has to be extinguished from the air. Meanwhile, insiders say actress and media personality Whoopi Goldberg, who has been a co-host on the show multiple times, usually backs up her co-hosts. But it seems she is staying quiet this time. This isn't too surprising, considering the fact that Whoopi Goldberg had been the only co-host to stand up for Carrie Underwood during the episode of the show, where Joy Behar and Sunny Hostin slammed down on her. The color purple star was firm on her stance, saying she stands behind Carrie. She went ahead to clarify her opinion, saying, "If I believe I have the right to make up my mind to go perform someplace, I believe they have the same right. So I have to support her. It doesn't mean I'm particularly interested in watching. I won't be watching, but that's me." Goldberg also compared Underwood's decision to Morning Joe. Hosts Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski's controversial meeting with Trump. After years of publicly slamming him, the 69-year-old argued that the MSNBC hosts did what they needed to do, and she had to stand behind their decision. Some speculate she's trying to mediate behind the scenes, but the backlash is just too big to ignore. This leaves the one question: could this be the beginning of the end for The View's most controversial hosts? For Joy Behar and Sunny Hostin, let's just say their future on the show is not looking very secure. One thing is for sure, this controversy is not just about Carrie Underwood anymore. It has developed into a question about media ethics, accountability, and the power of public figures to stand up for themselves. Sunny Hostin and Joy Behar, who they are and what they're known for. With their names dominating headlines, Many are now asking, who exactly are Sunny Hostin and Joy Behar, and why do their opinions carry so much weight? Stick with us as we dive into the backgrounds of these two controversial figures. Let's start with Sunny Hostin. As one of The View's most outspoken voices, she's no stranger to controversy, often playing a central role in the show's most heated debates. At 55, Hostin has built a reputation as a sharp legal analyst, known for breaking down high-profile cases, especially those with racial and social justice angles. Born to a Puerto Rican mother and an African-American father, she brings a unique perspective to the table, making her a go-to media figure for complex legal discussions. Viewers trust Hostin, a former federal prosecutor, not only to break down a legal case, but also to provide the emotional context around hot-button cases. They know that she's been there, and often is not afraid to take a stand. One of Hostin's colleagues, Regina M. Jansen, a senior trial attorney at the U.S. Department of Justice, sums up Hostin's universal appeal. As a leading attorney, Sunny is a brilliant woman. Her talents also include incredible emotional intelligence. She comes from humble beginnings that taught her how to relate to diverse people, both class and culture. She is a kind and generous person, always carrying humility with her in all of her circles. From the moment you meet Sunny, you see a beautiful woman who disarms you with her great wit and humor. She's a wonderful gift. That a young Puerto Rican African-American girl, the child of teenage parents raised in poverty in the South Bronx, rose to become one of the country's most trusted legal analysts is startling to many.
Civil rights, and especially of women's rights, and I think that will be her greatest legacy.
Growing up in the midst of violence, but in a loving home that encouraged her to succeed, drew Hostin to the law. She earned her law degree from Notre Dame University. She says she was driven not only to pull herself and her family out of poverty and away from violence, but also to help others find justice and make the world a better place. Her background helped make her successful. As a prosecutor, I would go into the ghetto and interview people, she says. I was very comfortable doing that. It also helped me gain trust as both a prosecutor and a TV reporter. People see that I came from the same place. They know I'm not some sort of rich kid television anchor who can't relate to people. After graduating from law school, Hostin worked as a law clerk, then moved into private practice. Next, she joined the Department of Justice's antitrust unit, but wanted to work on something more meaningful. So she became an assistant United States attorney specializing in child, at which she thrived. She was honored by then Attorney General Janet Reno with a Special Achievement Award for her prosecution of child. Hostin then moved into the private sector as a managing director of business intelligence and investigations at Kroll, the world's leading risk consulting company. By this stage, Hostin was financially secure and successful beyond her parents' wildest dreams. But she still wasn't satisfied. She wanted to make a bigger impact. So she joined Court TV as a commentator in 2006, which led to a spot on Fox News's The O'Reilly Factor. Her ability to quickly parse and analyze a complicated legal case and flawlessly and fearlessly debate O'Reilly and others caught the attention of CNN President Jonathan Klein, who signed her to a contract in 2007 as the legal analyst on CNN's flagship morning show, American Morning. Hostin's star rose quickly. She has covered many of the foremost legal and political stories of the last 7 years, including the Bernie Madoff investment fraud, the Elliot Spitzer prostitution investigation, the Michael Vick dogfighting ring, the Duke University, and the state of Florida versus George Zimmerman trial following the death of Trayvon Martin. As a result, increasingly, she has been invited to publish scholarly and popular articles and to moderate and speak on panels at universities and nonprofit organizations across the country. Hostin considers the 2012 George Zimmerman Trayvon Martin case the turning point in her career. Zimmerman, a Latino Caucasian man who fatally shot Martin, an unarmed 17-year-old African-American, was acquitted under Florida's Stand Your Ground law, essentially on grounds of self-defense, which led to a firestorm of protest. Although Sunny Hostin is under fire from ABC executives and Carrie Underwood's lawsuit, it seems that is not the end of her troubles. It can be said that Hostin is currently having an incredibly hard time with lawsuits, as her husband is also caught up in a storm of federal lawsuits. The View co-host. Sunny Hostin's husband, Dr. Emmanuel Manny Hostin, has been accused of insurance fraud in federal lawsuit. Hostin and his practice, Hostin Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, were named in a major RICO case among nearly 200 other defendants. According to court documents obtained by Entertainment Weekly, the orthopedic surgeon, owner of his Hostin Orthopedics and Sports Medicine practice, established in 2006, is individually accused in the December suit of having knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services, including arthroscopic surgeries to covered persons through Hostin Orthopedics that he purportedly performed, and allegedly fraudulently billed insurance company American Transit through each of those entities in exchange for kickbacks and/or other compensation, which were disguised as dividends or other cash distributions. The 698-page complaint reads, in a statement to the Daily Mail, which first broke news of the suit against Hostin and others, Dr. Hostin's attorney, Daniel Thwaites, said that his client denies each and every allegation.
Has long denied all allegations and has not been charged with any crime.
And called the suit a blanket, scattershot, meritless lawsuit by a near-bankrupt insurance carrier. Thwaites said the filing is also meant to and harass doctors from collecting for care given to American Transit insureds and their passengers, while also pointing out Dr. Hostin's impeccable record in the field. The legal representative claims that American Transit has rushed into the lawsuit without ever conducting an examination of Dr. Hostin or expressing any concerns to his lawyers. The real story here is about an insurance carrier abusing the legal system to limit and restrict healthcare benefits to its insureds and their passengers, and write off its proper obligations, he added. While Sunny publicly defends her hubby, behind the scenes, a friend of the family has revealed the shocking truth. It's not good for their marriage. The insider claims that Sunny Hostin is furious and demanding answers from her husband.
A group of people that perhaps don't understand you, don't understand your community, and aren't working on behalf of your values.
They went on to spill that no one would be surprised if Sunny kicks her medical genius husband to the curb if the case doesn't turn out the way she wants. According to the insider, Sunny Hostin may have some explaining to do to the ladies on The View, and they might be catty enough to bring the matter of her husband's lawsuit up on the show. Evidently, Sunny is stressed out on both the home and work front at a time when she was doing so well. This is a dark cloud hanging over her, as the case allegedly has Sunny feeling insecure and worried. Furthermore, Sunny Hostin's parents, whom she has been known to have a very close relationship with, have chosen to remain silent on the issues facing their daughter. Joy Behar, on the other hand, is an American comedian, television host, and actress. She co-hosts the ABC talk show The View, on which she has appeared since the beginning of the series. For her work on The View, Behar won a Daytime Emmy Award in 2009. She hosted The Joy Behar Show on HLN from 2009 to 2011, and Joy Behar, Say Anything on Current TV. from 2012 until the channel switched formats in August 2013. Behar's latest weekly late-night talk show, Late Night Joy, aired on TLC in 2015. She also wrote The Great Gas Bag, an AZ study guide to surviving Trump world.
And author of The Great Gas Bag, an A to Z study guide to surviving Trump world, Joy Behar is over here.
Behar was born Josephine Victoria Occhiuto in 1942 in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, the only child of a Roman Catholic family of Italian descent, hailing from Sant Eufemia d'Aspromonte, Calabria. Her mother, Rosa Diane Rose, was a seamstress, and her father, Louis Ferdinand Gino Occhiuto, was a truck driver for Coca-Cola. Behar earned a BA in sociology from Queens College in 1964 and an MA in English education from Stony Brook University in 1966. From the late 1960s to the early 1970s, she taught English on Long Island at Lindenhurst Senior High School in Lindenhurst, New York. She studied acting at the HB Studio. Behar started her career in show business in the early 1980s as a receptionist and later a producer on Good Morning America. Before becoming a household name on The View, Joy Behar had a long history in entertainment. She started as a stand-up comedian and made her mark with appearances on Good Morning America and the short-lived NBC project The New Show, produced by Lorne Michaels. In 1987, she even hosted a variety talk show on Lifetime television called Way Off Broadway, which featured none other than Larry David as a writer and performer. But it's on The View that Joy truly cemented her reputation for fiery, unapologetic takes. Known for her bold leftist views, Behar has faced constant backlash for her outspoken opinions on everything from politics to pop culture. Many have criticized her takes as harsh and, at times, inconsiderate. When it comes to her personal life, however, Joy's story is a bit more low-key. She married college professor Joe Behar in 1965, but the couple divorced in 1981. They share a daughter, Eve Behar Scotty, and Joy also has a grandson named Luca. After a long relationship with Steve Janowitz, the couple finally tied the knot in 2011. Living in the Hamptons and owning a second home on Manhattan's Upper West Side, Behar is firmly rooted in the Democratic camp, which explains many of her strong opinions, like her criticism of Carrie Underwood's inauguration performance and her stance on Donald Trump's administration. Now, with all eyes on her and Sunny Hostin, the stakes are higher than ever. The two women's controversial comments have put their jobs at risk. As the heat continues to rise, it's looking like they may have no choice but to publicly apologize to Carrie Underwood if they want to keep their seats on The View and avoid further fallout. What do you think of Sunny Hostin and Joy Behar's criticisms of Carrie Underwood? Would it be right for Carrie Underwood to push through with her lawsuit? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the following video shown on your screen. You will enjoy it.